Hello. In this video, we're going to explore how one of the Show My Data data visualization tools works. So first, let's go to showmydata.org, and here's the current home page. It has various data visualization apps right here that we can open just by clicking on them. One for histograms, one for correlation with 2 measures, one with more than 2 measures, one with repeated measures with 2 measures, one with more than 2 measures, and an independent groups visualization app. We're going to take a look at this one right here, the correlation one. Okay, and so there's a dummy data set that comes with it, just to get a sense of what it's showing. The line here is drawn such that the physical slope of that line, centimeters rise over centimeters rung, is equal to the correlation coefficient. So here we have a very strong correlation of 0.9, and if you were to take a look, the slope would be 0.9. Okay, let's put this app to the test and see what it can do for us. So we're going to download a wonderful 44,000 person data set on face recognition ability and age. So let's open up that data set. Here we have age. We'll put that over here. And here we have the total correct score on the Cambridge Face Memory Test, number 2. So we're going to copy that data. We can simply paste it right directly into the app. And it'll chew on that for a few seconds. And then it will give us the plot of all those 44,000 data points. Now, a couple things that might jump out at us at the moment. One is that these dots are kind of big. So let's make those dots smaller so we can see them better. Broadly speaking, one of the big challenges of showing individual data points is that often they're on top of each other. So again, these are still small. These are smaller. We can see where the data points go, but still a lot of them are on top of each other. This is age, so 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. That's a sort of quantized value, and also score on the test is number correct, and so that's one more correct than that is right there. Okay, so how do we deal with that? One of the best practice ways of dealing with that is to jitter the data a bit. And here we're going to jitter the data half of the minimum value in the x direction and all of the minimum value that we see, the minimum difference that we see in the y direction. Therefore we get some nice bands here, one for each age. So this is great. We get a sense of the data. Now let's actually fit a curvy line to the data. This is a spline fit, and the curviness can be specified by this knob right here. And let's look here. So the finding in the paper that this data came from was that early 30s is where face recognition peaks. So we can already almost see that, but it'd be nice to zoom in a little bit. So let's put in a more restricted X range for the data. Great. Now let's also put in a bit more restricted Y range just for fun. So I mean, we almost don't need to do that. We can pretty much tell where the peak is, but let's do that anyway. Let's say 45 to 65. And here we go. Now we can follow this line right here. We can see that's clearly where the peak is, and that is at age 31. So there are various other things we can do here. We can add a rug, which takes all these data points and it plots them. So if you don't have all that much data, plotting data in rug form can be very interesting. So say if we just take a little bit of this data here. Let's take a few hundred data points. There we go. See, now you can see a nice rug on that axis there. If we take this away, we take that away, we can see the data for a couple ages and you can see it plotted in two-dimensional way right there. We can also change this to percentile data, which gives us a Pearson correlation, because Spearman correlation, which is just a Pearson correlation done on ranked data. We can add a title, we can add a label, and we can output this as a PDF image just by clicking right there. And PDF is high resolution vector image, so we can paste it into any paper or any slide presentation. Okay, so that's a bit about Show My Data through the window of this one Correlation of 2 Measures app.